词呢在最后会重复4次的抬杠列音，教给大家跟着音乐一起大声喊出来。除此之外呢，进场都有拿到我们的拍拍扇，对不对？把我们拍拍扇折起来，跟着节奏一起敲起来哦。我们跟着音乐再试一次。准备一起来抬杠列音，抬杠列音，男人任性一起来，男人任性，抬杠列音，拍手拍手拍手拍手，抬杠列音，再来一次，最后一起来。OK， 以上是我们的得分歌曲，交给大家。前面我们这边有一位姐姐表现得非常好，谢谢你一直帮我们应援跟着一起跳舞，感谢你。好，那接下来呢要带给大家的就是我们的无惧之歌。那请大家听到音乐呢，跟着一起喊出 Let's go 列音 Let's go， 准备跟着音乐 Let's go。Let's go 列音 Let's go， 右手一起来 Let's go 列音 Let's go。
才看球场手感火烫，电影飞跃绽放光芒，从不畏惧眼前阻挡，胜利叫做创造。
一起来 Let's go 列音 Let's go，
电影飞跃绽放，
右手
Let's go 列音 Let's go， 胜利叫做创造辉煌。
好，非常简单哦，欢迎大家跟着音乐一起大声喊出来哦。这边博显也要跟大家说哦，待会在比赛的过程之中呢，展现出你的热情，跟着应援呐喊的球迷朋友，将有机会获得团长博神所发送由球员以及女孩所亲笔签名的小卡给你们哦。好，那接下来呢，我们要带给大家的就是我们的鼓励之歌。当听到战斗永不止步，要喊出4个字，大家知道是哪4个字吗？哦，不是生日快乐哈，是抬杠列音哈。好，我们跟着音乐来试一次哦。
越过失落的迷雾，团结让梦想再次绽放，不放弃，
不放弃，绝不退缩，再来一次。
男人精神不回到你心中，显心声你更闪耀，不放弃，
不放弃，不放弃，还准备喊出来，战斗永不止步。再一次抬杠列音，
永不放弃，这是我们的呐喊。
OK， 鼓励之歌交给大家哦，也欢迎我们前面这边球迷朋友，你们表现得非常好。后面的朋友，待会声音也拿出来哦不管你穿的是什么颜色的球衣哦，红色、白色还是橘色，只要是在球场，欢迎大家投入我们应援的气氛，一起大声喊出来哦。好，那最后呢，要带给大家的就是属于我们的胜利之歌，因为要预言今天胜利，所以我们先来预习一次后，跟着音乐来试试看喽。
手上火焰在燃烧，主场英雄无可挡，你更遥遥在领跑，掌声如潮汐起
同学来，胜利就在这一场，胜利就是这一场，再次把掌声给到我们的 Winstars 以及大元。接下来邀请现场所有球迷朋友一同将目光移向大荧幕，一同欣赏抬杠列音年度形象影片。
部分，今年赛季正式的告一段落了。对，五毛也落下了男儿泪。
为什么低头
我？想这就是所有人成长的养分。
因为真的就差一点点。
所有的球员一定会有所成长。
是不是可以再用力一点，再专注一点，
再快一点，再准一点，
再跳得高一点，再团结一点，再拼命一点？
thing. So what's next?
Hello， 各位现场所有音乐军球迷朋友们，再次欢迎大家来到我们国立成功大学中正堂。我是今天的应援团长博成，大家午安，大家好。好，欢迎来到我们本周台钢猎鹰在我们台南的主场赛事哦，也是我们本场例行赛啊，应该说我们本季例行赛的最后一场比赛哦。感谢大家一起进场继续支持哦。昨天的比赛呢，虽然稍显可惜哦，在第3节的时候遭遇一波乱流，但是我相信大家都有感受到我们男人们哦永不放弃的精神，坚持到底，拼战到最后一刻。这样的精神就是我们支持台钢猎鹰的原因。我也相信我们现场所有音乐军球迷朋友们都会秉持这样精神，持续成为我们球员的后盾，给予他们最坚强的力量以及支持。那除此之外呢，也要跟大家分享哦，我们今天赛后呢会有我们球员演唱的环节啦。团长博成先前有收到私讯哦，有球迷跟我说，可以敲碗哪一些选手上来唱歌吗？在这边跟大家说是有机会的哈，所以如果你想要听到球员高歌一曲的话，欢迎一起留到赛后。除此之外呢，大元、博成以及我们的 Win Stars 也都会留在现场跟大家一起同乐哦，欢迎大家一起留下来共襄盛举哦。好的，那在比赛开始之前呢，团长博成也想要确认一下，现场大家是不是都已经准备好要来帮我们台钢猎鹰好好的大声呐喊加油？所以准备好你的喉咙跟拍拍扇。我想要听到属于我们主场台南最热情的欢呼声。All right， 就是这股气势哦！待会比赛继续来帮我们台钢猎鹰加油哦。那接下来要来为各位介绍是两队球员名单。首先介绍是来访做客的桃园领航员。首先介绍来访客队桃园璞园领航员，背号3号陈立生，背号5号陈将双，背号6号关达佑，背号10号林明威，背号13号谭杰龙，背号25号林正，背号31号阿提诺，背号69号卢俊祥。35， 接下来为各位介绍桃园璞园领航员先发5人名单。背号1号丁恩迪，背号12号李家康，背号21号博朗，背号24号葛拉汉，背号30号白耀成。总教练卡米诺斯，助理教练暨球员发展总监杨一峰，助理教练黄启峰、陈世杰、唐伟杰、柯焕维，体能教练刘年杰、刘后少，防护师彭丽珍、吴云凯。再次用掌声欢迎来访客队桃园璞园领航员。期待已久、任性太久的男人们，在介绍我们地主台钢猎鹰球员出场之前，请大家再次将目光移向大荧幕。音速来袭 ，Are you ready？ 欢迎 Ghosthawks。展翅翱翔，撼动浮沉。这里是我们的主场，我们的家。现在就用最热情的欢呼声，欢迎你们的台南台钢猎鹰！首先要进场的弹无虚发三分射手，背号1号左轮射手王绿翔。灵活穿梭在球场之上，背号2号精灵控卫张志豪。你是电，你是光，你是唯一的神话，背号3号音速小子古毛威哲。Hustle every day number 4背号4号微笑刺客 Demon。Catch and shoot smooth like mother 背号7号华裔射手周奕安。3分线外的精准命中，背号8号英雄狙击手林允杰。他是冉冉升起的明日之星，背号15号猎鹰星星林宇谦。优异的弹速，强大的制空能力，背号18号台南盖师傅盖斌。场上沉稳安定的力量，背号24号台钢奶爸郭少杰。Starting five， 接下来为各位介绍台南台钢猎鹰先发5人名单。风驰电掣的速度 V12自然进气引擎，背号5号红色闪电 Macklin 麦拉伦。来自草原的霸气，毫不畏惧，背号6号蒙古超跑白萨。能里能外的全能身手，背号13号台钢魔兽谢宗荣。他是台钢猎鹰的钢铁人，背号23号钢铁英雄陈范Pauian。最后登场这位可以空中作业也能把你带入地面，背号00号富城格斗家飞斗士。总经理王成伟，总教练柯纳，助理教练祥恩、柯诗、邱品莲，防护师黄奇俊、杨俊祥，训练师徐子轩，体能训练师郭涵博，球队管理训译者。再一次用最热情的欢呼声，欢迎你们的台钢猎鹰！好的。 好的，在我们用最热情的欢呼声欢迎我们第一组球队之后呢，接下来想邀请现场球迷朋友一同来加入到我们第2阶段的应援教学了。好，我们这边记录台的朋友可以不要笑得这么开心吗？你是不是期待很久了？来，导播拍他。好，来，我们现在来教给大家的应援教学哦。第一个就是我们从进攻开始哦。进攻的方式呢非常简单，我们只要大声喊出抬杠拍拍猎鹰拍拍啊，跟着拍2下就可以了。来，现场邀请大家把我们的拍拍扇举起来，看一下你们的拍拍扇。有，2楼的朋友，我看到你们了，准备跟着音乐一起来，拍拍猎鹰。抬杠，猎鹰，再一次抬杠，最后一次抬杠，猎鹰。OK， 就是这么简单哦。也请 Winstars 帮我看一下你们前面的观众朋友，如果没有融入，赶快用你们的笑容跟热情融化他们哈。好，来，接下来第2个要教给大家的就是加油的应援哦。加油应援非常简单，当大家听到 Let's Go 猎鹰，就跟着拍拍扇，拍。啊，对，5下非常简单哈。我们跟着音乐来试一次喽。拍，Let's Go 猎鹰 ，Let's Go 猎鹰，最后一次 Let's Go 猎鹰。啊，相信不止现场哦，我们线上的朋友看到 Mingo 这样子带领，也都跟着帮助我们抬杠猎鹰来加油了哈。好，那最后呢，要教给大家的就是我们防守的应援啦。防守应援非常简单，请问一下大人，防守要喊什么？啊，他说防守啦，哈，哦，我有听到，来，全场大声的喊出防守哦，跟着音乐一起来喽！防守，最后一次。OK， 好，我们这个领航员的球迷哦，你们都是这个应援，也不是应援军啦啊，你们也是来帮球队应援，你们也可以喊防守啊，对不对？我们先试试看。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth. For the last time this regular season, we send our greetings from National Tsinghung University, home of the TSG Ghosthawks. The Ghosthawks currently trying to snap a 3-game home losing streak after winning 5 straight at home and overall trying to improve on last year's 6-win, 6-loss record at home. They're taking on the defending champion Taoyuan Pauian Pilots are in town. The Pilots most recently actually played 2 international games, so to speak. Once against the New Taipei Kings, who were the champions of the Plus League back in 2024, but more on that later. Pilots have a 16-win, 2-loss record. They lead the standings. The Braves actually caught up with the Ghosthawks in the win column. That's the second column on the left, with a 1-game advantage for the Ghosthawks in the loss column. And the ARC, with yesterday's result, are eliminated from the Plus League playoffs in their inaugural year. On the Mandarin broadcast, it is Coach Jack, 邱大宗 and Formosa Television's 蔡晴晴，球迷朋友们，这搞到了官方的英文转播。你要听中文的讲播讲评，就按照中文的转播连接。谢谢你收看记得 Plus League 的转播，都要帮我们按赞。The Ghosthawks actually coming off 3 weeks where they have been out of action, last getting the victory in Xingzhou against the Yankee ARC. And there were certainly signs of rust. The Ghosthawks actually end up turning the basketball over more than they had in assists, and a big part of that, unfortunately for them, starting point guard number 3, Gumao Weijia, suffered a knock to the head on Wednesday's practice, and so therefore the Ghosthawks only had 2 days to work on this personnel. And that's coming after Damon Brooks was held out for a number of games with some back discomfort. In a sense, the Ghosthawks have not really been at their full roster for a while.
Yeah, so congrats to Fubon, first of all. Yeah, we played like a team that missed the starting point guard and that hasn't played or has only played 1 game in the last 5 weeks. So I think you could really see that we lacked any rhythm. I think we fought, but we never really had a rhythm offensively. It's not very normal for us that we have more turnovers than assists.
One positive from last night's game. When it comes to fight, the Ghosthawks did out-rebound the Braves 50-42 with 16 offensive rebounds if you want a silver lining. The Ghosthawks, being that this is their last home game, actually have 3 more games over the next 4 weeks of the Plus League calendar. Similar situation last year, they had 4 games over the last 5 weeks. Previously, in the month of February, the aforementioned Gumao Weijia won the Player of the Month, averaging 15 points and 7 assists, a tick higher than his 6.4 assists per game. He helped the Ghosthawks to 3 wins and no losses. That's when the times were good, but you see the cut on Gumao's lip. Initially, the team was hoping that the cut was the only injury Gumao Weijia sustained, but corner also expanded to say he had some headache and maybe possibly concussion, near concussion symptoms. So out of abundance of caution, we will hold him out at least for this weekend's game and maybe reevaluate. They found the trophy, and Scott Huang Jinjia will be awarded to Gumao Weijia the supplement. The Pilots last lost last Saturday against the Taipei Full Braves in Taipei Arena as part of Beast Lin Zijie's send-off. They were previously averaging more than 16 points than their opponents in a 5-game winning streak that was snapped. So both teams coming off of losses to the Braves. And it looks like Justin Lu Junxiang will be out of action. There's the Pilots calendar. In the month of April, they had the Mini Den in Taichung Intercontinental Stadium to start the month off, and then a road game in Hong Kong on the 9th, and the 11th game in Taipei Arena, and a couple of BCL Asia East games as well on their calendar. So 5 domestic matches and 5 international matches. And you see Justin, number 69, the back-to-back Plus League MVP in street clothes. Don't anticipate him playing in this one. Yu Long, Lai Jinzong, and Wang Licheng will be the 3 officials calling tonight's game. So then, the Pilot starters will be Andy Mustafa Ding out of Zhenzi University, Alec Brown, Travion Graham, Jackie Lee Jiakang, and Ethan Biaoten. Zhenzi University in their 6th straight collegiate championship tonight. On the Ghosthawks side, it's in order of number: Raymond Cullum at point, Bai Sa, Jimmy Xie Zonglong, and Chen Fan Pauian Phil, and the newest member, Fardas Amy. Part of the TSG group includes their basketball team, their baseball team, and a volleyball team. So a lot of Hawks can participate in the fun. ready for action. The Pilots in their black and orange jersey as Travion Graham picks it off the floor for the Pilots' first possession. They're looking for Travion Graham one-on-one against Jimmy, and it's a stop for the Ghosthawks. Over to Chen, a little off as A-Make in a fight for the rebound, pulled down by Graham. Graham this time taking on Phil, able to score off the backboard. Cross screen, Amy quickly rises up. The right-handed hook shot, push shot is quite proficient. Alec Brown from deep range, able to hit on it, and Pilots up by 2 again. Alec Brown, last year's import of the year. Certainly a candidate for the finals MVP. Phil driving and outpacing Travion Graham. You see the difference in the two kinds of players, and certainly the strength that they have over each other. As off of a Baisa, Jackie has to bring it back up across the timeline. Quick crossover into some space. He's fouled. Off to earn it from the line. You look, Graham a little bit stronger. Can take that bump. And A-Make quickly putting it up before the defense. There you see Phil just accelerating just a little bit at the end. And a free and easy layup. Jackie in his 8th start this season for the Pilots. Last year's 6th Man of the Year, and then won this season's East Asia Super League 6th Man of the Year. Sinks that free throw. It's actually better from 3 than from 2, if you believe it. 39% from 2, 44% from 3. Weinstock getting the handoff, looking for A-Make, catches outside of the block. 3 dribbles to the turnaround jumper, a little strong. The Ghosthawks are playing on a back-to-back. The Pilots, having last played on a Tuesday night against South China Athletic, has Graham a flying floater. And it's a tough shot made. Similarities, but a little bit more dribble drive. Phil quickly in transition knocks down the 3. I was gonna say similar to also returning import, but for the Ghosthawks, Damon Brooks. But Brooks, like Graham, not as many dribble drives. Brown screens as a block and foul, a little body bump. Ball deflected as Brown screens and pops. Amdi firing it out to Graham. Joins it. In transition, Ray McCallum crosses over, dishes it off. The Baisa is stopped. In the corner, out to the high post. A-Make gets some 2-man going. Seeing the switch, avoiding any travels, and just off target. Yesterday, the Ghosthawks got in a lot of trouble when they had a lot of quick actions, not very patient with it. The Braves really collapsed the paint on them. Jackie seeing some daylight, puts it up and through. He has a quick 5 points to his name. He's way up on the logo. McCallum getting a ball screen, floated up, drawing three, and a good pass out as Shizo answers. The Ghosthawks really taking to heart some more patient offense to get this game started. Quickly down court, Graham. Switch directions and does draw a foul. Lee Jiakang trying to improve that dribble pull-up three after being a pretty good catch-and-shoot three-point shooter in the last couple years under Yergi Caminos. Free throw shooting is the real only blemish for the Pilots. League low as a squad, 63%. In early is number 5 point guard Owen Chen Jiangshuang. Quick blitz of McCallum as Bill from deep range, yes. Last night, Chen Pauian 9 points on only 1 of 6 three-point shooting. A rolled pass out to Brown. Jackie in some trouble. They say off of Black and out of bounds. Good hands by Baisa. That's the advantage of having plus range like Chen Fan does. Graham has that much more ground to cover. And they 2-on-1 off-ball situation. Lee Jiakang tags from the nail, or the basically free throw-ish area. As McCallum on the skip pass, short. Scramble for the rebound, won by the Ghosthawks. Foul first before the pass. It's Ambi trying to corral Amig. Will be baseline out of bounds when we return, but the official timeout with the TSG Ghosthawks with a 1-point lead in the early goings.
大荧幕哦，美女你好，上电视喽！想询问一下，哪一个歌词是正确的？左边是原来你是我的猪大哥，右边原来你是我的猪大哥。请问哪一个是正确的歌词？帮我比左边或右边。啊，答错了，是猪大哥，猪大哥还没死啊！哈，谢谢你啊，开玩笑的。好，我们这边球迷 ，Hello， 哇，是一直来非常力挺我们的，哦，你真的是猪大哥活派的就对了哈。 感谢你，谢谢你们支持台钢猎鹰哦。下一位朋友，你们好 ，Hello， 哪一句才是我们正确的歌词呢？啊，也跟大家挥挥手，跟我们全国的观众朋友一起来 say hi。啊，举错毛巾了啊。好，欢迎进场支持我们 P.LEAGUE 哦。
Welcome back to the broadcast. This is game 40 of the Plus League regular season. Ghosthawks against the Pilots. No changes for the Ghosthawks, but the Pilots bring in Willem Martino and number 6 Dayo. I saw pros back to Amy from the free throw area. Now it's getting some motion going as they find a switch. Artino sees 4 defenders out to Brown. His three is down. Now Brown, a 39% three-point shooter. As Pilots try to rotate around, it's Baisa countering with a triple of his own. Down low to Brown, flipping it to Artino, and a beautiful tic-tac-toe. Initially, it was Jackie and Brown on the left side, and Artino dove to the basket at the right time. In some confusion, Pilots are trying to match up. But Artino, speed mismatch against Ray McCallum. She got to the right, Jimmy's three, yes! The Ghosthawks are a 32% three-point shooting outfit. Quickly to Aimee and out of reach. And a look at previously the crisp passing between the Pilots. And over here, just simple driving kick for the Ghosthawks. As part of this 10 games in the month stretch, the Pilots, you'd expect a lot more rotation. Fired off to Owen in the corner. A dribble pull-up, that rolls in. Owen on the season averaging 7 points and 5.5 assists. Pretty good for a backup point guard playing 21 minutes a game. Quick show, leaving Brooks open. His three is short as Vardas with a tip in. Had 14 points and 12 rebounds. They leave Linton open, a little off to the right. His backup point guard and second year, Zhang Zihao. And one. Aimee against Linton. Not much that Linton could do there. Aimee's Mandarin name here in Taiwan, Fei Dou Si, or the Flying Fighter. The Ghosthawks and all their Hawk-affiliated teams love putting adjectives into their imports names. Killer Guan Dayo floats it up, hits the back iron. Out to Graham as he's fouled on the drive. Number 1, Lewis, Wang Liuxiang. With 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Leaving Graham open from the right corner. Bingo. Doing so good right up until that last opening. So far in the game, the Pilots have now hit 3 of 5 3-pointers. Now it's Artino's turn. And a whistle first. And an offensive 3 seconds. Lead official looking back on that action.
No, they know that we roll. So when we need to go is to be.
Jesus Christ.
So unless Aimee was in the paint when that cross screen occurred,
He's holding him for 3 seconds.
quite quick it seemed. Substitution for the Ghosthawks to bring in Guosao Jazz. The Ghosthawks had a trap going on at the half-court circle. Are whistled for a foul, though, to send Chen swung to the line. So the Again, their effort's good. The results not going their way. Owen is coming into tonight 83% free throw shooter on only 18 attempts. There you see Justin in the green shirt taking it easy. He actually sat out a number of games this season. In the Plus League, this is his second game absent in the very intense schedule for the Pilots. They make going on Willa Martino. Out to Brooks, shot fake. 3 dribbles, deflected pass as Graham tips it past Coach Corner. And McAllen and Jimmy will check back into the game. And with 2 minutes and 27 seconds, the Ghosthawks electing to call a timeout. Perhaps want to drop a good play with only 1.6 on the shot clock and then make some defensive rotation adjustments. So according to Coach Jack Cho Da-zong, the key number 2 and number 3 players, or shooting guards and small forwards, Baisa, Chen and Wang Yuxiang, in quarter 2 last night against the Braves. Baisa 1 for 1, Chen 1 make on 3 attempts, and Wang Yuxiang 2 of 3. The Ghosthawks, in their loss against the Braves, now find themselves only 1 game apart in the standings. And the last time they were that close was back on January 25th. Kind of similar script playing out to last season.
Team, 1, 2, 3, team, let's go.
Last season, the Ghosthawks clinched before the Braves back on March 1st, and this year, April 5th. The schedule does seem to be nearly a month later than last year's in the regular season, but then we're overtaken, falling from number 2 to 3 and Braves from 3 to 2, which meant the Braves had the home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs, and it seemed to have mattered because Braves were able to take the first 2. This season, scripts yet to be written. And look, the Ghosthawks still control destiny in their own hands as Brooks flare screen beats the clock. Guan Dayo has the sky high for the rebound. Taking some contact, a little overshot. Ghosthawks have numbers. McAllen is able to get the lay-in and immediately some full court pressure. Looking for Artino at the high post. Hand off to Graham with some daylight. Yes. Stroking it beautifully is Travion Graham. He's got 8 points on the night. A very good 3-point shooter as the other Jiega, Guo Shaojie, missing the 3, but his teammate knocked down on the rebound. Cared for by 3 Pilots in the vicinity. And look at a good pass by Damon Brooks, not too far behind, and McAllen able to put it up and in. Change for the Pilots to bring in Wayne. Number 10 leads the way. Or excuse me, Li Mingwei. Too late in the season to be messing up his name change. Iverson cut, and now floppy action, but Guo Shaojie tries again. This time gets the friendly bounce. But the Ghosthawks up by 2. Pretty good 3-point shooting so far on the night. Combined 10 for 18 are the 2 teams. Artino got a height advantage, switching sides, and able to score on Brooks with the outside move. edges as McCallum out to Jimmy from the corner. No. Back to Ray. His shot just catches iron as a foul on the rebound. Linton once again trying to battle with Damon Brooks. You see Artino's got such deep positioning. I always find it funny when he doesn't counter spin. He tries to step across when he's in such deep positioning. Pilots trying to bring in Amdi for Linton with 45 seconds left. Deep inbound. Allen looking at two possible screens, goes left, switched on to Amdi, crosses over the step back. It's tough, and a foul by Amdi. Allen then trying to stretch out his hamstrings. It's such an athletic move. Take another look for yourself. The Pilots certainly not happy with the form of the shot, and maybe they have a case. And the arena is very quiet.
I talent, it's 2 points. I talent, I'm challenging.
As you can hear, and not as enthusiastic, loud court. Yergi's noticed that it was a foot on the line situation. Not challenging the foul anymore. So another stoppage early on. In the season series, the Pilots have 4 wins to the Ghosthawks 1 in the head-to-head. This is the first time they're playing each other since January 31st. Well, based on this replay, his foot slides back from stepping on the line. Now with that, the two teams haven't played each other. For the Pilots, there were 6 games in between. For the Ghosthawks, 8 games in between. That is certainly one thing to wonder about Yergi, is coaching in terms of IRS challenges. Now, sometimes he will take a challenge just to get a stoppage, it appears. I don't presume that's what's going on with 33 seconds left in the first quarter. Last night, McCallum 4 for 5 from the line as part of his 17 points. Last year, the Pilots won 6 games to the Ghosthawks 2 in their head-to-head. Now the Ghosthawks with a 2-point lead as Guandayo crosses the timeline. And off to Graham. Goes to screen by Ambi. The deep pass out of the reach of Ambi's reach and of his hands. Pretty good play design. Just an inch or two away from good execution. Ghosthawks takes a little slip. Might have been an ankle tweak as McAllen shovels up to Jimmy. Time running down. McAllen's three, no good. So hopefully everybody's all right as the medical staff will check out Ghosthawks. The Ghosthawks play on a back-to-back, have a 2-point lead over the Pilots.
掌声给到 Win Stars。好，来，接下来来到我们黄金比例区哦。我们这边既然是黄金比例，我们的声音也要跟我们楼下的球迷一样哦，大声喊出来哦。好，在开始之前，先听听看你们的音量如何哦。我说猎鹰，你们说加油，最大声的哦，大家一起来，猎鹰，猎鹰，抬杠抬杠，猎鹰，碎啦！
Welcome back to National Tengong University, home of the TSG Ghosthawks. If you're watching on the Plus League YouTube live stream, your likes would be appreciated. Starting point guard for the Pilots, Ethan's back in. Fumble of the basketball, Lewis able to find it. Dishing it off to Doss, they call him. Getting the slip. Floated pass out to Lewis, overshot. And one of the notes in the first quarter, Pilots doing an awful job defensive rebounding, or you can credit the Ghosthawks for being better rebounders. It's 6-6 in the first quarter. You want to be around 70% is average when it comes to the available defensive rebounds. Down to Amy, trying to go up against Alec Brown, and they foul on the contest. Quickly, the Pilots with 2 team fouls. Amy called upon to take the place of Damon Brooks initially. Impressive 25-point, 13 rebound, 9 assist debut. Back on March 28th, goes 1 for 2 at the line. It's been a problem for the Pilots in the first quarter. Ethan finding a gap, shooting it to Brown, but it was deflected. And in transition, Lee Mingwei takes the foul. That's 3-0. Tough going for the Pilots. Jonah Morrison into guard Ghosthawks. Even peel switches. And number 2, Zihao, Floats it to Ame, out to Lewis. Another wide open look, and he knocks it down. It's a very concerted effort to blitz the Ghosthawks ball handlers, and they're paying for it. Looped up, ground lands, and can't get the spin, as this time it's the pilot that was fouled on the rebound. Baseline, and we'll see if it counts. I think they wave it off. Although it's weird that the Ghosthawks maybe didn't see the signal. They were trying to say that a different player tapped it in. Well, now after a conference, they do say basket good. Look, Graham. It is very close. Hard to tell from underneath the basket.
So why do you make a wrong decision then? But both of the outside referees, me and my coaches, we think he already goes into, and it doesn't matter if it's touch or not. What do you mean it doesn't matter? He tips the ball in. He tips the ball in. He tips the ball in. Why don't you just shut up? He tips the ball in.
to check it.
And you can talk to yourself.
Check
he tips
it.
the ball in.
I think they're on the same page, or maybe
But
not.
you can check it. Why you don't check it? I don't care. It's like to do it good.
Maybe they're on the same page.
And it's very good.
Unfortunately taken to the ground again. Hopefully he's all right, as the Pilots get a dunk down court, yet Yergi is going to give an arguing warning.
There's no advantage. There's no advantage. So you know that it's a you foul. You can't say it's your choice. You know that it's a you foul. You know.
A very bizarre start to our game. On a switch, Brooks goes, has that one tipped away, and they say out of bounds off of the Pilots. Get another look. It's Ethan stripping it away from Ghosthawks. So the hold on Zhang Zihao. Good screen out of the baseline 8 BOB. But a missed shot, and Graham, a tough take. Well, it's the only team to have very minimal import changes, as Brooks dribble and a patient move, getting it off the glass. Ghosthawks lead back up to 4. By that, I say the Pilots do have Cedric Milner, who's appeared minimally in plus league action. Kind of like Trayvon Graham's understudy, who had a knee injury in the preseason. Able to come back from Wayne on the dribble drive this time, and he gets it. That's definitely his best ability on the floor. Mismatch, Ame fouled and counted. It's Trayvon Graham electing to take the foul, but Bardosh too strong underneath. You know, look, Graham was not even in a stance. He was just ready to take a foul. Smart tip out by Artino. kick as Ethan from the left wing miss. Baisa going to baseline. He was hit, and it will send him to the line. It's Brown. That'll be his second personal foul. Brooks will head to the bench. It's Amek and 4 locals: Chen Pauian, Wang Yuxiang, Baisa, and Jimmy Shizong. Baisa from Mongolia, where some of his fellow countrymen playing in Tianmu against the New Taipei Kings. It's the Chinggis Broncos, previously the Haas Broncos in BCL Asia East action. Trying to bank a free throw and then in and out. Still 2-possession lead for the Ghosthawks. Brown screening for Jackie. They swing it around as Jordan Morrison air mills the shot and poked out of bounds by White. Change to bring in a couple of guards. Up close to Brown. A lot of defensive attempts, and so out to Jackie, able to get the bucket. Hand off to Baisa. To the hammer. And a long rebound. Martino catching, powering, and they will count it. Even though there's a kind of a triple whistle that usually you would think might be an offensive violation. I think if you're the Ghosthawks, you're wondering about a possible tan-tan, or the same foot that the player takes off from ends up landing before the other. Martino and Amdi will be the front court, giving Brown a break. This free throw, and Ghosthawks a chance to get back the lead. Baisa, previously out of Zhongke, and then Hongguo Defang floats it up softly, and a beautiful lay-in. Just like that, going through the heart of the defense. Quickly a steal, and Amek with another basket. On the game, only 4 turnovers, but they seem to all hurt real bad. Jackie probing, and takes it out of bounds. Right now, the Ghosthawks, despite playing on a back-to-back, seem to be their aggressor. You see Baisa clutch in the air, and a good anticipation steal. Guan Nayo is the guard, but it looked like he needed some help there. Trying to recover. Pilots leave Jimmy open from the wing. Foul on the rebound. It's the Ghosthawks' 4th as a squad. Just a dry smile by the Taipei native, Lewis. Slipping it to Artino, fakes the pass, flipping it up with the left hand, and that connects. Inside-out action as Chen finally getting a touch of the basketball, raises the rim. Rewarding the big guy for his effort, but passes right to the opponent. Jackie gathers over to Artino, able to finish with the left hand. The Pilots playing through some mistakes, taking advantage of the Ghosthawks not hitting on their open shots. Timeout called on the floor. We have a 43-43 tie.
跟我们的球迷一起来举手后。Hello， 球迷朋友你好！补充水分的同时，也可以跟我们大元一起来啊，一个耶，谢谢你。所以哦，好，这位弟弟 ，Hello， 跟着我们大元一起举手，耶！嗨，好可爱，妹妹你好，从小就来支持我们的猎鹰呢。好 ，Mingo， 你说他们很可爱是不是？
太是了。
好，我们台钢天鹰的球员也来到现场了，欢迎他们。Sky 怎么也有你啊？我们 Sky 的球迷也来了，欢迎你们啊！谢谢我们台钢一家亲友，猎鹰、雄鹰、天鹰，然后大家都一起支持起来。Hello， 美女，你好。
For the last time this regular season, the home of the Ghosthawks. Ghosthawks handed the Pilots their first loss of the season here in Tainan, January 31st, 110-84. Deflected pass as seems to be a very slippery floor, especially on the Ghosthawks side. Chen Jianshuang, despite the interception, ended up sliding out of bounds. Getting another look. It was the area actually a little bit wide of the sponsor logo. I'm gonna put 14 on the shot clock as Ghosthawks are in the front court already. Long inbounds play out to Ethan, fresh in the game. His three is short. So far in quarter two, the Pilots 15-13. I mean, the first quarter was 28-30. I don't know what that pass was about. Andrew was cutting. He had some shooters open as well. I saw hooking a pass out to Jimmy. Drive, floats it up, and it dances off the rim. Some close misses for the Ghosthawks. Back to Artino, giving the Ghosthawks trouble, and this time inside out to open Chen Jianshuang. That three falls. Driving again, clutching, and this one off the rim. Killer will drive, and Brooks trying to fight for the rebound as from way far away, the trailing official jumps in to call a foul. It's on Brooks all by himself there. Could use some of his teammates crashing down as see 3 pilots on the side and only 2 Ghosthawks to defend. Another new face in this game, Gabriel Humphrey, number 18, was nursing a knee injury, and the Ghosthawks, with a 3rd international student on their payroll, brought in Ollie Daniel to go up against the bigs of the Yankee Arc, Sam Degara and Mindangos Kupsas for a stretch. But Gabby's back in there. Really impressed in his Ghosthawks debut last season. Bill blocked, and the pilots pick it up. Willem Martino playing defense as Guandayo again trouble bringing the ball up court. Owen putting it up. And good team rebounding by the Ghosthawks. This time, Ethan from the opposite corner. Not a lot of separation between these two teams so far as Jackie step back 2, a little off as Andy, good hands, but then loses it out of bounds. He must have said the Ghosthawks jarred it loose, and then he flung it out of bounds as he's getting a look. Faked the pass, and then Ethan with a height advantage over killer Guandayo, able to put it off. McCallum screened by Brooks to an open Gaibi, and that's in. Looks like we have a delay of game warning. You know, look, the pilots really collapsing, and the Ghosthawks have had many open looks. And that's kind of the pilots' MO. Tricky footwork, and somehow into Lee Jiakang. Trying to get their offense reset. Back pass all the way to a white jersey. Ethan one man to beat. Beautiful move and in. Somehow maneuvering around the 2 Pilots players. Take a look at the Bay Area native. First, the great setup for the Euro, and then maybe Ethan smacked that ball in off the backboard, and then the body contact withdrew the whistle. Ghosthawks 51, Pilots 48. As a timeout called on the floor. A great setup, even with Xiaobai anticipating a block on the right side. That's certainly good skill, good effort, and a little bit of luck. And Ethan now up to 5 points.
Stay disciplined. We got team fouls, so we got to be sharp and focused on it. Let's go to do. Bye. Jonah, Will, Jackie, you decide. When we play this, scream for Jonah and go corner. Jonah, play really fast. If it's this, to swing the ball quick, okay? And Will for the roll. Hey, 2 minutes, be smart, eh? Let's go.
If you're just joining the broadcast, the Pilots without the service of a 2-time MVP, Justin Gutringshan. Not available for tonight's action, working off a number of injuries. It's a situation that the Pilots let us know that in a must-win situation he could play, but thinking more long-term, not only with the Pilots locking up the #1 seed in the Plus League regular season. Also, their conquest in the East Asia Super League yielded another second-place finish, which included 3 games in 5 days in Macau. Now they're in the Basketball Championship of Asia East. Artino on the second effort brushes that one in. On the curl, hesitates, and no foul given, but a second chance for the Ghosthawks has been Damon Brooks, real tough, ends up utilizing the left hand. Ghosthawks stay up by 3 as Guadayo puts the brakes on and able to lay it off the window. A double ball screen going on now as Gabby, given the room, puts it up and buries another 3. So far in the Pilots season, not often a team will have such a good offensive output. In fact, it's only been 2 losses for them. Ethan, a tough layup. 4-on-4 ongoing as a catch and shoot by Ethan. Off the mark, and Artino starts to break. Bad pass, though. Pilots with Artino kind of zoned up. Now takes Damon Brooks. Bill. Hesitation out to Brooks. Takes a real tough shot that ends up on the basket support. That time the Ghosthawks too patient. You see Artino smartly deking Brooks into missing him on that kind of spin move. Then Brooks, even in the face of 2 defenders, shot clock, game clock difference as Brooks gets the poke. Ethan switches the left hand. How about that? With the half-court heave hitting the rim. 58-52 for the TSG Ghosthawks as they lead against the #1 Pilots. Here on a balmy April afternoon, the home team will head to the locker rooms trying to go 1-for-1 on their final homestand here in Tainan.
我张开翅膀，心扑通好烫啊！大声的歌唱，啦啦啦啦啦，飞越过球场，大愿音乐最棒。汗水闪闪亮，凭全力向前闯，勇敢不退让，热情在发光。我举起希望，追逐梦想，飞翔，跟着节拍举起手，呐喊加油，胜利到最后。有我撑场，流好最狂，热血永不散场。大愿大愿，我最温暖亲切，猎鹰篮球就是我的一切，不分季节，不分日夜，永远陪在你身边。大愿大愿，我要振翅高飞，猎鹰篮球会闪耀全世界。大愿会与你肩并肩，见证每一个飞上天的瞬间。球灌篮漂亮，我震撼全场哇！哦，欢呼响亮哇啊啊啊啊！也得分好 爽，掌声鼓励吧！跟着节拍举起手，呐喊加油，胜利到最后。有我撑场6号最狂气势全开啦！大圆大圆，我最温暖亲切，猎鹰篮球就是我的一切，不分季节不分日夜，永远陪在你身边。大圆大圆，我要展翅高飞，猎鹰篮球会闪耀全世界，大圆会与你肩并肩，见证每一个飞上天的瞬间。
掌声给到大圆以及 Ghosthawks。我们接下来也要请大圆留步哦。哇塞，今天真的装扮别出心裁哦，感觉你很像罗宾汉之类的。但是呢，你刚才跳舞之后又觉得，哎呦，感觉未来有机会可以往儿童台发展哦。欢迎大朋友小朋友一起进场来支持啦。那接下来呢，我们要来欢迎到我们所有的4月寿星一起来上台哦。那接着。在这欢迎他们之前呢，我们要先邀请现场的朋友一起帮我们大声唱出生日快乐歌给我们的是这个本月寿星大圆，全场交给大家喽，一起来 ！Happy birthday to you, Happy birthday to you, Happy birthday to 大圆 ，Happy birthday to you。
So birthday celebration for one of the TSG mascots, Taoyuan. The Ghosthawks celebrating birthdays and at least one half of basketball so far in the books. Very good. A 58-52 lead over the Pilots, who own the best record in the Plus League. In the first half, the score is 58-52. They're on top. Then we have field goal shooting, three-point shooting, rebounds, assists, and turnovers from top to bottom. The Ghosthawks with 47 to the Pilots' 37 field goal attempts. So even if their percentage might not be as high, taking more shots and for more three-pointers, the Pilots have been giving all kinds of open looks. It's very curious. By the way, neither team very good from the free throw line. Hope that improves in the second half. The Pilots are blitzing almost all pick and rolls. Unlike their usual strategy of neutralizing the screen, as Coach Cho was educating us on a whiteboard program on the Plus League's put on. Instead of neutralizing the screen, which means the defender of the ball screen will try to stay as close as they can. Even sometimes the word is jam, which you want to kind of push up slightly on the screener, where you give the space for your on-ball defender to maneuver around or underneath. And maybe that's been the Pilots' successful defensive coverage, but they are blitzing. And with the Ghosthawks guards especially able to send an accurate pocket pass, Barndos Amig able to dish out a lot of passes for open looks. By the way, Amig with his team's second high 3 assists. Ray McCallan has 6 to lead the squad, but this is one of those examples, rolling into that open pocket right around the free throw area. The Ghosthawks 10 for 24 from three-point range after last night, a average, but not good enough for the win. 11 for 32 against the Braves. The Ghosthawks trying to finish 7-5 here at home, which would be a one-game improvement on last year. We'll go to a break again and step aside before the next segment.
哇，猎鹰天鹰雄鹰总冠军，谢谢你，台钢有你真好啊！好，我们这位朋友。
雄鹰、天鹰、猎鹰总冠军。
我怀疑你的愿望有抄袭的嫌疑哦。哦，没有啦，本来就是这样子。谢谢你还带着我们塔考的头饰哈，谢谢 Give me five 哦。好，我们的球迷真的都人很好哎，都把这个愿望送给我们球队。来，换你。
那个球员都健康出赛，然后总冠军。
OK， 球员都健康，这是最重要的。感谢你的愿望哦。来。
事务机上班加油，然后要健康。
OK， 事务机上班加油，辛苦你们了。好，那接下来我们这边的球迷朋友，哇，一直举着我们大圆的毛巾，有什么愿望呢？
台钢事务机上班的时候都辛苦了，然后希望你们可以注意自己的身体，不要太热了。然后以及祝福台钢雄鹰、天鹰、猎鹰的球员健康出赛夺冠军。
谢谢你。那我要跟你讲一个，你刚才说事务机，其实他考上班都在打混，他没有很辛苦。好，来接下来。
球员出赛健康平安，上一季总冠军，好不好？
好，哇，非常热情，感受到了，欢迎。
祝福7606永浴爱河。
7606永浴爱河，你有没有问过许瑞恩的意见？好，来，我们下一位朋友，你好。
三鹰的球员跟事务机都健康。
OK， 三鹰的球员跟事务机也都健康哦，欢迎，你好。
我也是7606永远在一起。
7606永远在一起，大圆跟 Sky 有没有听到？赶快报一个啦！Sky 好像不一样哈。来，我们这位朋友你好。
猎鹰加油！
好，非常严谨应该，猎鹰加油，感谢。好，那接下来呢？好，接下来让我们现场的球迷朋友跟着我们的2位这个可爱的吉祥物一起来跳一下我们大圆之歌，好不好？我们大圆的单曲，不要担心，大圆 Sky 往前一步，没错没错，一起来一次哦！全场我们一起大合跳一次，好，准备好哦，老师音乐请下。
永远陪在你身边。
好，大圆你要带动哦。
大圆，我要振翅高飞，猎鹰篮球会闪耀全世界。大圆会与你肩并肩，见证每一个飞上天的瞬间。
所以啦，好，那接下来我们来一起合照留念哦。我们也请2位回到我们的队伍中央哦，我们一起来拍张照片。好，我们也请我们的寿星球迷朋友，我们可以集中一起来拍照哦。好，我们可以或站或坐来到我们大圆。
On the main screen, the birthday celebration for one of the TSG mascots. And in the left side, sneak peek into the more recent East Asia Super League Advisory Board meetings, including Mr. Haga Kajiran from FIBA's Asia office, speaking with the representatives of basketball federations and basketball leagues in East Asia. East Asia Super League from the original home and away 8 teams to 10 teams last season, and this past season a 12-team field. And we've heard it many times from Chief Executive Officer there standing, Henry Cairns, that 16 teams will be the goal for next season in the East Asia Super League. This season from Chinese Taipei, the Taoyuan Pauian Pilots in back-to-back seasons not only made the East Asia Super League postseason or playoffs, were the number 2 team, only falling to the eventual champions in the championship game, the Hiroshima Dragonflies last year, and the Utsunomiya Brecks this past March. The Taipei Fubon Braves had a record of 2 wins and 4 losses, and also making 3 East Asia Super League playoffs, the new Taipei Kings. And looking at the field of Plus League teams, whoever will make it to the East Asia Super League, the Pilots, of course, very close to Taoyuan International Airport. The Braves, close to Songsan Airport in the center of Taipei City. And I've been told if the Ghosthawks will represent, they might move their action to Kaohsiung, very close to the Kaohsiung International Airport. Time for a break, and we'll be back to the second half in about 3.5 minutes.
심장을 태워 널 미치게 하고 싶어 P.LG
以现场的音乐军球迷朋友，接下来下半场比赛准备开始哦。继续把我们的声音、热情拿出来，帮助我们抬杠猎鹰。这边的朋友，让我听看你们的声音、你们的热情，可以吗？猎鹰加油！
Before we get started, in the second half, this date in Plus League history, April 19th, 2024, the Dreamers defeated the Kings 97-93. It was the final regular season meeting between these two teams. The Dreamers won that series 6-2. Devin Marble had 29 points. The two teams, though, combined 10 for 56 from 3. Ooh. Well, not much of a preview of the playoffs between the second and third seed. The Kings 4-2 against the Dreamers to advance and eventually win the Plus League title. Graham just off with a first possession one-on-one. Callan waiting for a make screen. Not much of a chance. Fading to the right, and it will drop out of bounds. Interesting. Both teams, the imports, electing to go one-on-one. Not great results. Offensive 3 seconds. Or Yergi yelling out on the floor for Jackie to shoot it to avoid Ambi getting that offensive 3 seconds. Ivers into a ball screen as they say off of the Ghosthawks, but with the help of the official, they will stay with a Ghosthawks ball, and that's where the quick challenge by Yergi, 2 or 3 in the first half, really hurts the Pilots. Bison giving space, but looking to pass as it's McCallan. A make screen wide open from the Plus League logo. Bison off target. For our first score. Graham curling to the top, no good. I saw had an open look, and now they keep the ball moving as it rolls out of bounds. A-Make underneath trying to get the basketball. So baseline out of bounds. A-Make facing 2 defenders, back out to McCallan. Good side dribble, and still off. How about the Pilots turn in space? Ethan, quick handoff and screen with Jackie as Andy was underneath. Gonna clear out as Graham down low to Brown. Little one-legged fadeaway is in as Shizono will end up taking some contact on that rebounding effort. Skip pass. Jimmy trying to exact a little revenge on that block out. Ball will roll out of bounds. Yeah, now look, a little import to import ball screen. And a rough play uncalled underneath the basket. Holding foul as early substitutions for the Ghosthawks. It's Brooks and Lewis. And for McAllen and Jimmy. Quick spin line, excuse me, baseline spin, and Graham coaxes a foul out of Phil. So in the second quarter, the Pilots took 2 quick fouls within the first Ghosthawks possession. These were reversed here in the third, though 3 minutes of play already in the books. Graham, after going 1 for 3 in the first half from the line. Misfires and 2 misfires, but Brown picks him up. How about Brown from way outside? Getting it to go, and the Pilots find themselves down by 1. And before Brooks trying to get it back off the mark, and Graham going on the same side as MD and Brooks battling for position, and a foul called. And a look at the hand fighting and the grappling. Here you see the shooting of 5 shots for the Ghosthawks, none of falling, as Amig flying to get that rebound. Off the shoes and out of bounds. I saw trying to cross over left. And once again, for the Pilots, first man in is a change at the point guard spot. Owen for Ethan. Known at the Pilots camp as Pi. That is his surname. And so, to the Pilots watching the film back, they may be confused. Who's Ethan? The guy on the Ghosthawks, number 7? No, Ethan told me himself that's his English name, as right away, Owen, money from 3-point range, and the Pilots with a 8-0 run to start the third quarter. We'll go to break and see what adjustments they make here in the third.
好，上到大荧幕的朋友，你好，2位美女，跟着我们的大圆一起来比动作哈。Hello， 摆个 pose， 谢谢你们。晨晨上荧幕喽，举着你最爱的啦啦队 Mingo 的毛巾哈，谢谢你。Hello， 我们这一家人你好，上到大荧幕喽。妹妹挥挥手，好，妹妹有发现哈，挥挥手，不要害羞，感谢你们支持。Hello， 美女你们好，挥挥手喽，谢谢你们进场支持台钢猎鹰哦。
Here in the third quarter, the Pilots doing a much better job denying the Ghosthawks 0 offensive rebounds. That was definitely a pain point for the Pilots in the first half of play. Demond Brooks better half. Teresa taking in the game. See the 3-point shooting 0 for 4 for the Ghosthawks. That's up to only 1 2-pointer. So are they settling, or the Pilots this time more familiar coverage, and a runner missed by Baisa. That time Brown was in kind of drop, level coverage, not the blitz we saw before. This is a blitz where Amig aggressively on the switch, and Owen, feeling hot, rolls out that 3. To the basket, and climbs out. Everything but the bucket for Fardos. Memory screens for Graham, who shovels it to Brown. Brown and Jackie on the side. And amongst the clutter, Brown takes the foul with Graham hurting. Hopefully it's something similar, just getting the wind knocked out of him. It's contact to the head. He sees, puts his head down and ran into his own teammate. Just a turnover as Ambi and Graham will be subbed out. Changes for the Ghosthawks as well. It's Zhang Zihao and Guo Shaojie. Driving kick action as Brooks refinding the basketball. A deep shot with 7 seconds on the shot clock as Artino saves it back inbounds. Artino played the most minutes for the Pilots. And on the Ghosthawks side, it was Timfan. 19-23 on his first half ledger. Brown from the free throw area, and Artino will maybe take away 2 points or ensure 2 points for the Pilots. Take away 2 points from Brown, that is. Jump pass a little offline as Ame from underneath, stopped by Artino. Flipped up to Artino, making the catch, and Guo Shaojie hangs on to him. Maybe Guo Shaojie a little too playful, though Artino now laughs it off. Maybe an opportunity to call it unsportsmanlike. Thankfully, neither player heard on that play. You see Artino immediately after the block run down court. And Guo Shaojie, left hand against the ball, right hand to the back is the reason why this possibly could be elevated to an unsportsmanlike. As it is not a timeout, though the 5 Ghosthawks on the floor went to the bench. We're being told by our TV networks that it's a mistake by the
Why call that mistake from the
scorer's table.
Yeah, stop. If we set screens? All right.
That's 4 Ghosthawks team fouls to the Pilots 1. On the season, Willem Artino has taken the most free throws for the Pilots coming into tonight. 123 attempts, only hitting on 49 of them. As the Pilots are going to bring Graham back in, but along with Lington, or Ken, officially listed as Ken in the FIBA website. Ken Lin. Well, the Pilots also have other players struggling from the line. Graham, 42% on 64 attempts coming in tonight. And even the point guard buyouts at 49% in 43 attempts. Definitely a point of concern as Lewis from the elbow, looking for Damon Brooks. Now Guo Shaojie can't get away. Beating the clock, it's Lewis. That one climbs out, and Brooks can't find the target, but who's that underneath? It's McCallan. And the first score of the third quarter for the Ghosthawks. Martino on the roll. McCallan matches up to Graham. Time running down the fadeaway. Wow! Swishing it through is Travion Graham. Foul by Owen, trying to maneuver the screen. Look at Lewis, a chance, as I almost thought Brooks should have made it in. We've seen so much of that. Takes those tough jumps from up close and making it, and then Graham in the face of 2 defenders. Fancy move as McCallum from range off rim. Gino sets the screen for Owen to go to a strong hand out to Travion Graham. Easy catch and shoot, and that's money. See that one from a mile away. As well as the Pilots have played, it is only a 8-point lead. They're not super efficient themselves. This third quarter is 16-2 for the Pilots. Martino screens, now Graham on the catch, curls into the painted air, flings it up, and deflection by Lington. Almost a bad pass, but numbers for the Ghosthawks. Ghosthawks get enough legs underneath it. And a monster block by Graham, jumping back in the picture. And a foul on the rebound. As well as as good as the looks that the Ghosthawks have had, it is just not their quarter. And off camera, a funny scene where one of the Pilots, I think it was Chen Jianshuang, ran into one of the officials, knocked his whistle out, and the official jokingly teed him up, but without a whistle. So Artino at the line. Will get the bounce. So poor Ghosthawks missed the open look and was swatted into the shadow realm by Graham, finally returning action as Artino bottoms that second free throw as well. Problem also for the Ghosthawks, they have not been sent to the line themselves. Stripped from behind as Phil couldn't hold on to it. I'm sure the Ghosthawks wondering if Graham had something to do with that one. The low score for any quarter this Plus League season by our teams is 9 points. Flipped up to Artino, fake and in. Sweet pass by number 6, Guandayo. Trying to rotate, Phil going to the basket, and he's fouled. And we'll have to earn it from the line. Got the Pilots in some confusion. Getting a look at Artino kind of slipping there, and not enough coverage on Guandayo, who can loft up a good pass. Lewis will head out. Ethan, who had an impressive run in the second quarter, will take his place. Still one of the best three-point shooters this year in the Plus League. And by that, I mean on such high volume, 122 attempts coming into tonight. Finally got it. Under 3 minutes here in the third. Martino screening for Graham. The slip pass. And the Ghosthawks kind of crowd Martino into that turnover. Amick was open or had a match earlier. Now Martino back on assignment. Deflection on the pass. Killer Guanayo trying to beat two. And it's Graham with the tip in. The breaks even going to Pilot's way. Amick, fancy spin move, deflection, and Gabby knocked off the rebound. Owen, one man to beat with physicality, and great effort by Ethan, but oh, it was a foul. He did take a trip, not on his own volition. Good enough defense by Chen, and then you see Artino kind of just give him a little friendly shove from behind. If not for the shove, Tonira would have had that rebound. Gabby directing traffic. Phil pops out. And utilizing the screen as McAllen trying to drive on Owen. Shoots the fadeaway. And a foul on the shot. McAllen playing his sixth game in the Plus League. Coming into the weekend was a league high 24 assists to 6 turnovers. Good efficiency and ball security. In the third quarter, the Ghosthawks with more free throws made than field goals made. Now some front court pressure. Owen in some space. Now Graham floating it up, and I guess that's a screen from Chen swung up close to the basket. Floating it up, and suddenly the rim's very friendly as Ethan gets himself aboard. Approaching a minute as a foul on the shot. It's Guanayo against Ray. Trying to contest as hard as he can, and McAllen is so good at just maneuvering enough to force the defense into a tough contest. Maybe there's some kick out. I think the best thing to do is not bite on his initial fake. So once again, at the line, McAllen with 10 points. The bonus is in, so a 10-point game. Some trouble. Overcrowded on the left side as Graham puts it up. Martino forced into a miss, and Gabby last touched out of bounds. Kind of a missed opportunity for the Pilots. Washington from close range, right at the cup. To put that one away. And a foul in transition will send McCallan at the line. Owen's foul will be his 4th, and finally Ethan will get back into the action. McCallan's 12 points leads the Ghosthawks, followed by Fardas Amek's 11. Conley puts away 2. So while the Pilots battle out there, their MVP Justin getting a night off. To be fair, he is the leading local scorer in the Plus League by a wide margin. Working with Artino as Graham, that change-up drive, finding some contact. Pilots will size down for the last 10 seconds with Wayne in for Ken. Meanwhile, Graham on the night. 1 for 5 from the line. Really is a game-high 22 points, so kind of the exception, not the rule. Makes the first, and hey, makes the second. Pilots up by 12. McCallan quickly inbounding, then give and go. Deep range pick and roll into the paint in here, jumping it off, and Ame blows the lay-in on the reverse layup. But real great look, patient play, and it's just really not the night for number 00. So the Pilots with a 28-10 go, lead by 12, heading in the 4th and final frame of this one.
Jungle life, sometimes a mad place. It's you and me together, the end of a wild day. Don't keep it all bottled up and release your energy. Hey, only reason we are here is to celebrate in a place where anyone can be anything. Hold on to this moment, don't let it fade away. Baby, keep the music playing. Come on, get on up. We're wild and we can't be tamed. And we're turning the floor into a zoo. Come on, keep it up. It's fun if you're down to play. And we're turning the floor into a zoo. A zoo. A zoo.
掌声给到 Wingstars， 皮尤达。好嘞，再次提醒我们现场的球迷朋友，待会今天的比赛结束之后呢，我们将会邀请到大家陪着我们的猎鹰以及 Wingstars， 还有大元 Sky 一起来拍一张大合照哦。也欢迎大家今天赛后留下来，继续来参与我们今天的赛后活动，一起来拍下我们本季例行赛最后一场的主场合照哦。
In the Basketball Championship League Asia East, the New Taipei Kings able to outlast the Chinggis Broncos 4th quarter comeback and take back-to-back victories in Tianmu Gymnasium. The Taipei Dasher, who's women's team is in the collegiate consolation game and end up losing. Lots of basketball in this stretch. Lington, tough board. The Pilots with a 28-10. That's right, 28-10 third quarter without their two-time MVP Justin. Kind of a Spain look. It's Ethan sticks with Graham. Mon Brooks sticks with Alec Brown. Oh, Graham settles for the three, and it falls. And a turnover on the inbounds. Just I was going to my notes. Might have been a inbounding line violation. That possibly could be the first one in the Plus League six-season history. Pilots can add insult to injury. Little slip to Alec Brown, who's underneath the defense and scores, and could have been some harm on the play. Well, the Ghosthawks end up falling big in the third quarter to the Braves, 28-14. Get another look at Ethan and Brown from the elbow area. Maybe some contact on the face, on the shoulder. I'll see Brooks try to bring the contact. Unfortunately for Brown, that is his fourth personal foul.
When they hit like this, someone, never over. Because my player is mine. You are there, but you are there. Huh? No, no problem. Yeah. Bye.
Delon gets his scoring above his jersey number with that free throw. 2 games shy of qualifying for the year-end statistics. He leads the Plus League with 2 steals per game. A distant second behind Archie Goodwin in the score department with 20.5 points per game. Ethan funky handling. No-look pass to Brown as they keep the offense going. Wayne, and it's Lington. Could you believe it? I don't know if he intended on shooting that basketball on the, was it a layup? Was it a pass kind of air ball? Meanwhile, the Pilots bench, including Yergi, having a lot of fun and having a laugh. You see Zue, or Mingwei, excuse me, again. That's the layup he's been getting good at, but who knew he would airball it and go right to their local big as Chen puts in the free throw. An 18-point game. Ghosthawks are just trying to take it 1 possession at a time. Not a great pass as Brooks fires it over the head of Jimmy. One thing about the Ghosthawks with these entry passes, sometimes they shoot at the wrong hand, shoot at the wrong shoulder of the would-be recipient. Makes it easy for the defense to get a deflection. Here in the fourth, it's an 8-2 start for the Pilots. Loaded up to Brown. He takes the corner fade and chases his own rebound. The Pilots have been better in that department as well as Ethan joins the party. He splashes one down. Stay match up as McAllen maneuvers a screen. Flips it to Brooks, over to Ethan, driving baseline. Over to Jimmy, gains his balance, or did he not? So far, it's been another game where the Ghosthawks are fighting hard, but things aren't working his way as a foul. Jimmy reaching in on the drive. A little unlucky. I always say, next play, the next day is always a chance for a new start. Back out to Brown, catch and shoot three. Little face blocking out. Ame helps his team to the board. Ame with 11 points, 10 rebound, back in action. Damon Brooks and Irgi. Well, Irgi having a laugh. Damon Brooks probably doesn't find it all funny. The Pilots foul and Ghosthawks sideline out of bounds. And look, yeah, maybe. Mackey maneuvering the screen. Ethan's scoop layup lands back in his hands, and a jump ball is called. For the Pilots on the arrow at the scorer's table. The Pilots' month of April has 10 games, the most of any month, surpassing January. They had 7 plus league games and only 1 international game as Brown shot fake, dribble pull up, yes. Pilots so far in the month of April, 5 wins, 1 loss. One was, of course, against the kind of out of the ordinary TSG retirement as Brown fouls Brooks for his 5th. Brooks got a step on him. Take another look. The threat of the shot, and even the 211 centimeter tall Barnard's Ame, not enough to get Brown off of that shot. I looked it up. Brown, I don't think has ever fouled out in the Plus League regular season or playoff action. But he did foul out in the Pilots' very narrow victory over South China Athletic at Zhudong Stadium in Hong Kong. Pilots trying to get organized against the Ghosthawks, showing a 2-3 zone. Pounding the rock until finally a ball screen. Owen going against it. I don't think he got it off in time. So if not for the shot clock, Chen Jianshuang with a pretty good look out of against the zone. Or Wayne still on the floor, but called for the foul. Huh. Interesting. The month of April has the Pilots' most international games, as in their East Asia Super League season. November, they had 2 games. I think both against the Morocco Bolts, one in Taoyuan Arena, one in the Philippines. But the BCL Asia East games, they'll be playing 5 this month and maybe 4, if not 5, in the month of May, as a doink by Brooks down low. Amdi got a hand on it. He's driving and easily gets it off the backboard. Pilots approaching the century mark. The Ghosthawks with only 14 points in about 15 minutes here in the second half. Shot making is just not there. How about this look? Brooks, travel call. And in frustration, tosses the basketball and has earned a technical. It's okay to throw the basketball down hard with two hands and catch it with two hands, but when you let it bounce up past the shoulders, it's an automatic technical in the books.
Whole weekend, one travel call. Whole weekend, one call travel. And Byron travels 5 fucking times nothing.
Excuse the language out on the floor as Graham will come into
for everybody.
For Brown. Pilots previously on Thursday won against South China Athletic 99-80 in a 40-minute game. 3 wins, no losses guarantees a spot in what PLEAGUE is calling the final 6. Jackie from the corner as Amek ends up on the ground. And a dangerous pass. Amdi trying to find a teammate covered up. Pilots had an opening quarter 32-14. 10 of their 12 players scored. After all 11 scored who made before against the New Taipei Kings on Tuesday. And PLEAGUE alum Sun Yang, who's been previously playing for Hong Kong Eastern a couple seasons in the East Asia Super League. Ethan into the painted area, a sideways shot, good. Glenn Yang had a game high, if you can believe it, 20 points. Coming off the bench. Deep pass to Andy. He flings it out of bounds. Not the worst idea in the world, as the corner shooter would have been open, but Andy had the size advantage and a one-on-one. Not a lot of defenders in sight, so took his time. Make a big man move. A shoulder fake, or just hook shot off the backboard. Ghosthawks bring in number 2, Zhang Zihao. Run point, and Gabby from the wing. And up to Lewis getting it back. Under 6 minutes in the ball game as Lewis left open, overshoots it. Mardos gets the foul on the runner. Amdi's third personal. Doss, as they call him. Making his second free throw of the night. Also has 3 assists, 3 steals. Maybe trying to get his legs underneath him on a back-to-back. Finishing has not been as good as we've seen him. Very impressive. From all kinds of ranges in his debut against the Arc. But again, 3 weeks ago, just funky scheduling by the league. Again in the zone look. Graham occupying the middle as the whistle stops the action. One thing that's hampering the Ghosthawks is the injuries to their crucial players. Damon Brooks missed out on March 7th and 8th. Those were home games. And then March 15th on the road. Making a huge difference. As Jackie finding himself open. And off of a pilot and a foul call, in fact, on the loose ball, so that'll send the Ghosthawks to the line. It's the Yugi Amino's show. I think one thing about the foul that's very confusing is
when they hit Alex, you didn't see anything, and they hit the face. So this is what I can understand.
That they could have just left it as an out of bounds. Especially if it was a late call. Chance for Taoyuan to add to his point total. He's a even 10 points, make it 11. Doesn't like things even. This Pilot's 5 on the floor has got to do a better job attacking the zone. As a little shovel pass, not connecting. Back to Gabby, who's clearly fouled, and a belated whistle comes in. At least they got it right. Good find by Zihao, and late whistle. Definitely part of officiating is not only getting the call right, but managing the game, including the cadence of your whistle, or tempo. People might be more familiar with. You whistle late, unless it's for a good reason, where maybe you're officiating out of your assigned area, or you find something can't be ignored as foul on the rebound. I think more Ghosthawks free throws. Oh, it's Amick with the rebounding foul. Okay. We need to take another look at that one. The game is way slowed down here. The Ghosthawks attempting 10 free throws, and to their credit, have made 9, but only 1 for 7 from the floor.
You surprised everybody.
Meanwhile, the Pilots, free throws 3 and 4 coming up. And Artino has found the stroke. Artino working on 20 points, make it 21. Hey, look confident there. Over 2 for 2 as really reserve guard Anderson for 3 Tennyson. Trying to stay in the play, goes over the screen, and now contests the shot as it finds Ethan's hand. He flings it back to Amick. And he's helped up by Artino. A scrambled drill there. Amick with 2 points and 2 rebounds here in the second half. Make it 3. As I was saying, the Ghosthawks with Brooks out for 3 games, lost by an average margin of 22 points. How about the opposing import bigs draining these free throws? Well, Brooks brings that spirit of toughness and a competitive part of a competitor. Meanwhile, for this weekend set at home, the Ghosthawks without their starting point guard, Gumal Weijia. If you watched last night's broadcast, I would have let you know that this is the first time he's missed any time in the Ghosthawks Plus League era. And a turnover, almost turnover? Ghosthawks get the ball on the held possession. Just slipped out of Ethan's hand, and then one of the funniest looking scrambles. I think Lewis has a little bit of a case there. It was a fraction of a second that Tennyson or Anderson both had possession. Last night was only the 3rd time the Ghosthawks this season had more turnovers than assists without their starting point guard. back to fundamentals for Fardas. He cashes in that kind of sideways hook shot. Well, in Gumao, you're losing one of their offensive organizers, then initiators, and certainly somebody who, as Corner told us, is a paint breaker with his penetration. Jonah Morrison in the picture, but Amick with the rebound. Zihao from plus range. Kind of a rebounding game as Artino give and go. And a clutching lay-in for the natural lefty. And an even 100 points for the Pilots as the Ghosthawks call timeout with Pi remaining on the clock. 3 minutes 14 before the end of regulation.
来秀出你们的毛巾喽！谢谢你，浅浅的粉丝你好，谢谢你们。Hello Mango， 还有我们尹杰的球迷你好，嗨天宇。 黄晨晨，好的，继续要来帮我们猎鹰加油喽！
Candidates for 6th Man of the Year. Jackie Lee Jiakang was last year's winner, but he has started 7 games this year, so his numbers maybe just use as reference. But Guan Dayou and Chen Jiasong each averaging 6, nearly 7 points. Might make good candidates for this year's Pilots. Again, #1 in the regular season with a 7-game lead over 2nd place. Ethan curls around the free throw area. Very threatening position. Now they keep running offense. As they get a switch, but it's Jerry Liu Jie who swirls out corner 3. Anderson behind the head as Guan Dayou able to lay it in through contact. There's a little razzle-dazzle. Usually Guan Dayou is the one throwing behind the back passes. Dribble pull-up, and Ethan makes it look easy. Ethan's career high coming into tonight was 15 points. One shy of that mark with 2 minutes to go. Graham pulls up from deep 2 and airballs it as Zihao chases after it and is knocked down by Anderson in transition. Hard hit as you see. Killer even threw the hit to the elbow. Another look at, I think, certainly is foul and a hard hit, but the Pilots do have it right. Zhang Zihao put 2 hands on the ball as Coach Corner giving rookie Leo Chen a chance on the floor. That's number 2, Zhang Zihao's first time getting a score on this game as Killer goes and this time draws a foul. Not nearly as egregious as that fast break opportunity. It's number 8, Jerry. Fan Dayo at the line, chance to bolster his case. A 75% free throw shooter, but only 12 attempts coming into tonight. And he goes 2 for 2. By the way, I was notified that Taoyuan Graham, 27 points, beat his season high. As the Ghosthawks cut it to 14 with a minute and a half left. Ball hitting our Vander broadcast table. They don't look too worse off. You know, look at Gabby fake the handoff, then maneuver around Taoyuan Graham for the layup. Going at Gabby one-on-one and dribble it out of his own hands. Commits the foul. Pilots looking at a victory would move them to within 2 games of tying the Braves at 19 wins back in the 20-21 season. The Pilots want to do even better than that. In the next 6 games, have to win 4. They have 4 home games, though the early May homestand will be in a Hsinchu Municipal Gymnasium. From the Pilots as Gabby back to Zihao, a clutching layup, and it's Andy under the hoop, called for the foul. Well, the Ghosthawks reserves are putting in a real good effort, as you see Yoongjie tie up Amdi enough. Not an easy catch, and then just playing with more aggression, and the Ghosthawks get rewarded for it. Even with a little sideways stroke, Zihao makes it work. Out of bounds on the Pilots' miss. Well, to the Ghosthawks' credit, they've won this 4th quarter 25-24. Yerky Camino's getting a chance to show off the hands. We are approaching the end of the ball game. Not much fanfare in the end. Anderson will cross the timeline, and 104-94. The Pilots win their 17th game of the season, and the Ghosthawks in fact fall to 10-11 on their season. still with a playoff ticket in hand. But they're now going to need to really solidify things as they want to have home court advantage in the first round against the Taipei Fubon Braves. So stick around. Is in the post-game. We have our player interview, and I've been told we are getting William Martino set up before we see the Ghosthawks get into their high fives around the arena. Let you know that Fardas Amek with 17 points, 12 rebounds, filled up his stat line a decent bit. But again, on a back-to-back will be something to kind of work on, as in the Plus League playoff schedule gets to playing every other day in the playoff series and then the Plus League finals. Willie Martino and the Taoyuan Pauian Pilots emerged victorious on the road. Will, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Well, without the two-time MVP and then facing a 6-point deficit, are you going to tell me that you guys just played your game to come back in this one with a big third quarter?
I mean, you know, this team, we just fight all 48 minutes if we have Justin or not. Yeah, obviously, when we have him, he's the MVP, but when we don't have him, others have to step up. In the third quarter, everybody locked in, and we were able to kind of take control of the game.
Speaking of everybody stepping up, the Pilots have a very busy month of April. By my count, 10 games to play. And so does that mean that Irgi and the coaching staff and you guys, the players, are anticipating a lot more rotation, a lot more opportunities for the entire squad to go out there and contribute?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. You know, obviously our rotation's a little shorter in BCL with the different rules. So in the P.LEAGUE, everybody's got to be ready. And today they were, like Lin Chen, Septa played really well. And to have everybody come in and contribute, obviously that's a great sign.
My final question is, you guys are playing domestically in the Plus League with the Pilots' chance to go back-to-back as champions. You guys had a good showing in the East Asia Super League, and in back-to-back seasons, the team has Basketball Championship League Asia East. Mentally, how do you juggle the workload of playing all these games and also having good results?
Yeah, I mean, you know, for me, this is my first year with the team, so I haven't won anything with them, so that's my motivation. And it's nice to just play all these different teams. You know, our league only has 4 teams, so to see new teams throughout the year keeps it fresh. So every game for us is important. You know, we represent Taiwan when we go out of the country, and so that's kind of what we take pride in.
Well, thanks, William Martino. Go get some rest, and you've been playing very well, so you've been earning your keep so far. We'll see about the titles by the end of things. Thanks once again.
Thank you.
William Martino, 23 points, 13 rebounds to his line, coming off the bench, pitching in 26 minutes played. The Pilots do overcome having 19 turnovers overall in the game. And I think you got the answer a little bit, that the Pilots were rotating in their substitutes in the fourth quarter, which made it a little bit more of a closer margin by the end. Pilots 104 to the Ghosthawks 94. Pilots in the end do control the points in the paint. That's Irgi's biggest emphasis. It was 46 to 32. And impressively for both teams, we got 23 points off the bench for the Ghosthawks and 47 for the Pilots. Pilots get a season-high 27 for Travion Graham, but also coming off the bench, Owen with 9, Killer with 8, among others. Ghosthawks about to celebrate their last regular season game. We'll take a break and be back after this. Mr. Wang, the chairman of the TSG Entertainment Group. The Ghosthawks getting together for a group picture. Players and staff in the front, and the fans in attendance gathering behind them. The Ghosthawks, unfortunately for them, due to injury in part, actually now have lost 4 straight at home and are even 6 wins and 6 losses heading into the playoffs. The final statistics see points, field goal shooting, 3-point shooting, rebounds, assists, and turnovers. The Pilots playing without the services of Justin Lutringshan, able to pull this one off in big part thanks to a 28-10 third quarter. The Ghosthawks not having played at home since March 7th and 8th, where they were without Damon Brooks due to some back issues. This weekend without Guma Weijia with concussion and concussion-like symptoms. I do agree with Coach Corner that it would have been a safer call, especially on Wednesday, with maybe not that much time for recovery, not as much time for observation to make sure their face of the franchise point guard doesn't sustain any further damage to the head. The Pilots with 26 assists, but turned it over 19 times. Were engaging in an interesting defensive strategy in the first half by blitzing ball screens while they drop into their normal coverage of neutralizing in the second half, and I think predictably had better defensive results, though the Arc maybe not as accurate as they could with the opportunities they were given. They'll take another week off while the Arc play home against the Pilots on next Saturday, April 25th, and the Braves can equal the Ghosthawks with a win on Sunday. Both games at 5 p.m. That is Hsinchu Municipal Gymnasium in Hsinchu City. So on behalf of Coach Jack, Qiu Dazong, and for Most Television, Tai Qingjing, I'm Ryan Chen. And we thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.